Hello, this is Soundout here, back to another Watchmen review. I know, it feels like we just did one of these, yet it's been 2 months since the last figure came out. Today we're looking at Nite Owl. Just Nite Owl. Interesting enough, Silk Spectre's box said Silk Spectre 2, while Nite Owl's just says Nite Owl. I guess I changed their mind 2 months. Anyways, new box, new clock time. I'm going to show all these clock times when we get to the end and have Ozymandias, who was revealed at Comic-Con, and unfortunately does not come with the accessory I was expecting him to, but he still looks pretty good. And having this figure in hand makes me realize stuff. On the side you can see a picture of Archie, which is based on Archidemus. It's Nite Owl's ship, and the Nite Owl, and this thing. We'll cover this thing in a minute, because right now I have things on the turntable. Anyways, let's just get this open and out of the mailer box. So now we can see we got another Watchmen book. I swear I own Watchmen 5 times now. But here you got that. On the side you get a nice picture of Nite Owl. To that extent, you open this up. Boom! There's Nite Owl. With his Archie in the back and the moon. And oh my god! That's where Dr. Manhattan and Silk Spectre's accessory budget went. He has 4 accessories. Not only grapple hook, but 3 of those owl ring things he had. Plus, there's a lot of new parts in this guy that we'll cover. But yeah, you can see there, yeah, he's brand new in box still. But yeah, this is really exciting. Now, taking a look at the art card here, that is still in place on mine, because planning, right? As you can see, when you get these things, I've never really showed this, these art cards are taped down, which is why when you see them in my other videos, they're kind of sitting around loose, because there is nothing really to hold them down. Take that off. See here's the bio, which we can pull. I want to try to get the recycling logo out of the way without wrecking the card too much, or at all. There we go. So, that. Now we have the bio. I'll read the bio, because Nite Owl is my favorite Watchmen character. Clever, honorable, introspective, awkward, shy, and unnaturally obsessed with mass vigilantes and ornithology, Dan Drieberg was a surprisingly good fit to inherit the mantle of Nite Owl. He is a talented engineer with a tragic childhood that feeds his needs to help the helpless and fight the good fight. Sorry, that blood's getting in the way. However, the world is not a perfect place, and Dan is forced to constantly question his own morality. It's a really cool art card. Very cool indeed. I do appreciate these art cards. They're going to be nice when I do set up my Watchmen display. I'm going to have these art cards sitting behind them, because they look really nice. Now, let's take a look at those boxes lined up. So here are the boxes as we've previously seen them, and Nite Owl's fits right here. So, now we just need to bookend this with Comedian and Ozymandias. And I was right when I said Nite Owl would be here last video. So we got Ho Atches to Watchmen. Or Watch Me. That actually gives a different message now. Anyways, I'm looking forward to bookending this in September and November. But without further ado, let's take a look at Nite Owl himself. Alright, so here is Nite Owl. Now, Nite Owl is my favorite character in all of Watchmen. Mostly, I don't really know why, but I just like the character, and it's kind of an interesting character to look at, as he's trying to be the good guy in the situation, but keeps having to do kind of weird things. But then again, your life would be pretty weird if, you knew this guy. Anyways, Nite Owl is really cool. Like, I don't know why, but I kind of connected with the character a bit. And, it was the only Before Watchmen series I read before the trade paperbacks came out. And so I was looking forward to this figure. I knew ahead of time that his arms were going to be restricted. I don't know why people thought they wouldn't be, honestly. We saw Owlman. Owlman has a similar cape. I saw several people saying, hope Nite Owl has good arm articulation. I'm like, no, he's not. You've seen that cape. You know that cape's not going to move any more than Nite Owl or Owlman's did. So, there you go. But here he is. Now, despite all that, this is a very nice looking figure with a lot of unique parts, and I just understood where Silk Spectre and Manhattan's accessory budgets went. For that matter, Manhattan's accessory budget. Because these last three Watchmen figures have so many pieces and so many new tooling parts, it's incredible. This is back to the level of Rorschach. So that is really nice. Like the comedian next month, or not next month, but September, looks really good. And Ozymandias, who does not come with his cat, unfortunately, but after seeing all the new tooling, I understand, is coming out in November. So, you know what? I'll take it. Plus, this guy has 4 accessories. Anyways, moving along. Taking a look at the figure. So you can see they replicate the mask, hood, goggles look. The goggles allow him to see, at night. They're night vision goggles. You can see that the back owl piece trails back here. And they painted every one of those little lines on. Or at least a tampograph. But all the lines from the cape, just the cape goes around his neck, down his shoulders. But you can see the face sculpt looks amazing. Like, this is easily the best face sculpt aside from Rorschach, because that's not a face sculpt. This one looks really, really accurate to the comic. And honestly, they got the age lines in because he is supposed to be older at this point. You can tell that this is supposed to be the older set of Watchmen, after they got disbanded by the law that prevented superheroes. And so, it looks really nice. Like, you can see his ears are molded into the side. Moving down his cape, he's got a new chest piece. It's a cloth chest piece. He's also not as built up and bulky in the chest as some of the other characters are. And that is because he did retire for a while as Nite Owl before coming back. Unfortunately, the standard legs are used, so he's got these really muscular legs and this not-so-muscular torso. Yeah, not much you can do about that. I didn't think they'd sculpt new legs, because they sculpted a new belt with the owl logo in the middle. The gloves are painted on, unfortunately, instead of molded, but again, so much new molding I don't mind, same with the boots. So, overall, the top half of the torso is really cool looking. The bottom half is a little bit inaccurate, but it's okay. I can deal with it, because, honestly, I don't know if we'll ever get another comic-style Nite Owl figure. So, let's put him on his generic Watchmen stand that I've shown you 3 times now. I do like the stands. I may say that they are kind of bland, and I wish they had character-specific names on there. I might do that myself, actually, with a label maker. But, as much as I wish they had character names on them, I understand why they aren't. It makes them kind of interchangeable, so if you just stack all the stands together, you don't have to try to figure out who's whose. But, like, their little symbol or something could have been cool. But it's okay. I appreciate the stands. It'll give them a nice unified look on the shelf, because these will fit in with my DC Universe Classics, but I want them to look distinct aside from their look, because their look will blend in nicely. And I want to know that those are the Watchmen. And these stands do a great job of that, because no other DC Universe Classics will have Watchmen stands. Moving along, he does have accessories like I mentioned. So you get this grapple gun, a brand new mold grapple gun. One that's got the molded in string. It's got the grapple, the reel there, and it's got several layers of paint. Ooh. And on top of that, it's not overly sized like Rorschach's was. It's actually reasonably sized. And it can fit in his hand. Like that. The other 3 accessories are the same accessory 3 times. And that is these owl rings of sorts. You can see there's 3 of them. They're really tiny. They're going in a plastic bag once this review's over. But you can see there, it's the shape of the owl. And he can hold them convincingly. It's just they're really hard to hold. So I'm not even going to bother, because I know they're going to fall. That being said, let's take a look at his articulation. So, his head can move. It's got left and right movement. This piece does have some movability. No up or down movement at all. His waist, let's get him off his stand and pull his grapple gun out. His waist does not turn because of the new belt, and his ab crunch only slightly works. His arms do have the full DC Universe Classics articulation. They're just restricted by the cape, but his elbows can bend and his wrists can move. The legs can move out. The legs have full posability because they're not restricted. The arms, again, you can only get them about there, and that's starting to bend the cape. So I'm going to probably just leave him in this pose that I've had him in since I got him. Since I do have him on the shelf when I'm not reviewing toys. I just kind of got him in this pose where he's going to grapple. He's going to grapple up to a building. But he's kind of standing there stoically and heroically until it's time to grapple up to the building he's going to. So, there you go. Now, the only complaint I'd have with these is that you can't pose him where he's throwing these. So, these are really nice, though. I do appreciate the accessories because even if they're useless, sometimes it's nice to have accessories of things. Because it just represents the character. That being said, Nite Owl is a great addition to the Watchmen line. As you can see, he looks good with Silk Spectre. And, of course, let me get this right here. It looks good with Silk Spectre. They make a nice pairing. His partner Rorschach looks good next to him, too. And Dr. Manhattan can kind of chill out back here. If I can get his foot right. But anyways, yeah, looking really good so far. We got 4 Watchmen, 2 left. This should be a really nice display. Now, the price of these figures is $25 a piece. These do not justify that. These do. And from what I can tell, Comedian and Ozymandias will justify that price. And these are really nice figures. So if you are collecting the Watchmen line, I'd highly recommend tracking down Nite Owl. And if you're not collecting the Watchmen line, but like the character of Nite Owl, this is a figure to track down. The movie version just doesn't give the costume justice. This is the best Nite Owl figure on the market. And I would definitely recommend picking him up. Now, there won't be any Watchmen after this year because Matty Collector did not sell enough subs to warrant a second year of Watchmen figures, but they are giving us the chance to get more DC Universe Classics figures in the DC Universe Signature Collection line through Club Infinite Earths. And right now, the sub isn't selling as well as I think it should. So if you are interested in DC Universe Classics that are not Watchmen figures, I would definitely recommend subscribing because the worst that'll happen is you get a figure you don't like and you can sell it on eBay for more than you paid for it. Anyways, be sure to stay tuned as the Comedian will be coming in September and I'm keeping up with these videos. So until next time, Soundout saying, be sure to check out HeroTaka.com and goodbye.